My name is Tia Butler, and I first met Jenny Brody in the fall of 2007. She helped me adopt my daughter, Sophia. She was emotionless. She just kind of like stared. And then I think the second time I saw her, I recall, her, thinking, or me feeling like she was thinking, I've seen her before, but then when she came home, it was, like she was never going to leave, so.
Wonderful. How are you doing?
Fine.
Good. Did you have a good day at school?
Yes.
You did? What did you do?
I played the light.
I actually needed to file a petition to the court to actually adopt her, and there was a process for that, while I think I'm smart, I have no clue as to how I would go about doing that, and an attorney would, and my attorney did, and knew how to do it very easily.
My name is Jenny Brody, and I am one of the founders of the DC Volunteer Lawyers Project. People typically may see, for example, on television shows, if a person's arrested and the police read them their Miranda warnings, and part of that is that if you can't afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you. There is no such right in a civil case. There's no constitutional right to a lawyer, even when very drastic things could happen in your family life as a result of legal action. If you're indigent and you can't afford an attorney, your only option is to represent yourself. And currently in DC Superior Court, the vast majority of litigants in family law cases are representing themselves. I'm a lawyer, was home with my kids, and wanted to take some pro bono cases. And I happened to meet two other lawyers who were doing the same thing. So we got together, we talked, and we thought there probably are lots of other women attorneys who are home with their kids who would do pro bono work if we could make it feasible for them to do that.
My name is Karen Barker Marcoux, and I was one of the founders of the DC Volunteer Lawyers Project. So to go up and face a judge and face your abuser without anyone at your side is a very daunting prospect. Our lawyers have been through this process many times. We understand the cycle of abuse, we understand the laws, and we understand the rules of the courtroom, and I think we give our clients the confidence to take on their abusers and change the pattern of violence in their life.
The most common case we take is to help a client get a protective order, which means that the person who's abusing her has to stay away from her, her children, her place of work. Ensure the client's physical safety at the most basic level.
My name is Sakaya Johnson, and I have 3 children. I felt as though my life was going to end. I believe my neighbors or someone called the police because, they probably heard me screaming, my kids screaming, him screaming, and, our walls are pretty thin, so somebody, called, and the next thing I know, the police were, knocking at the door. I got a temporary protection order before from my kid's father, but we never went through the motions of the courts and everything. We never went through that. A week later, everything was back to normal. So this was the first time that I actually went through the whole, going through the steps to, achieving something and just breaking out of the relationship.
My name is Irene Wills. I have a granddaughter, 3 years old. Everybody prayed for the baby, because she was real teeny. We was back and forth to the hospital like every week when she, when she was born, and everything she went through, I had to go through with the baby. It was important for me to have custody of my grandchild so she could be all right. her doctor told me about the program that they had and said that you could get a lawyer through them. So they called me and then they came.
My name is Amy Myers. For 4 years I was a family law attorney at WEAVE, Women Empowered Against Violence, and now I'm directing the Domestic Violence Clinic at the Washington College of Law at American University in DC. Part of the challenge with the family law cases is that they are quite complex and they just take a bit of time.
If you're willing to stipulate to some of their documents, it does solve a lot of problems.
Pro bono attorneys at firms or at government work may not be able to commit to the kind of time that the family law cases require, but the DCVLP attorneys are able to commit that kind of time, and they're getting the expertise and the mentoring from DCVLP that makes them excellent advocates for their clients.
And these are cases in which Superior Court judges appoint us to represent the best interests of the child.
Here is the judge having to listen to the he said, she said. The judge cannot go out and secure documents. The judge cannot go out and interview school personnel. I can try to assess all of the information out there and distill it down into what is appropriate for this child.
It's really genius getting all of these amazing attorneys who have the skills and the compassion and the time to devote to these cases, and who otherwise, because they're not connected with other employers, wouldn't have the opportunity. I'm very grateful, and I know that our clients are very grateful that they have built this network and that their network of attorneys is taking these cases and doing a great job with them.
A lot of people have just given up, you know, because they're trying to get protection orders and they don't have nobody to help them, and they're just like, you know what, forget it, just don't worry about it, you know, and walked right out the courtroom.
Without my attorneys, I'm not certain that things would have ended up the way that they have. So I'm really indebted to her and her representation of me, because, you know, I did need a lawyer to get through this process, and I'm not certain that if I had not had one, that I would have continued to pursue other routes. So I'm grateful, very grateful, because my life wouldn't be the same without Sophia.